Lights on, phone on, airplane mode, and we are finally live. Welcome to another video on the channel, my tigers. It's Alex from Tiger88. I'm very happy to have you here once again with me for another interesting video, which is actually related to my personal life. That's how I got the idea from this video, and it's very simple. I'll start straight away. So this morning and also yesterday I was wearing at home this t-shirt. It's just one big teddy bear. It's a very loose t-shirt. It says partner in crime. It's one quirky, funny little t-shirt. And I was thinking before making these videos today that maybe I should change the t-shirt. Maybe I should have something more serious, or the other t-shirts that I have, something plain or something just more presentable for the camera. And then I asked myself, why do I have these thoughts? Why do I even want to be more presentable? Why does it even matter? Of course, appearance matters always. It's always going to matter, but only for the people that judge on the surface. In my opinion, it's much more important the message and the vibe that you have rather than the looks. And that's why it's today's topic, being cool. Why is being cool a problem? Let's start like this. Why am I even making a video about this? Because I make videos about possible problems that people may face. Why being cool is a problem it's because it takes away from your authenticity, and also it makes you stifled. It makes you more anxious in social situations, because everybody wants to be accepted and loved and respected, and all of these good emotions felt towards them. That's why everybody wants to be cool. But who decides what is cool and what is not? That's a very interesting question to contemplate about, because who really starts everything? Who decides what is cool? Because one thing was cool in the 70s, one thing was cool in the 80s, one thing was cool in the 90s, and it's like the fashion trends. They always change throughout the years. In the 70s it's more fashionable to have long hair. In the 80s it's more like this with the gel on the side. Then on the 90s it's more fashionable, I don't know, skinhead or something like this. I'm not even sure. So who decides, and why do we always follow what is cool? I see this problem in a lot of guys these days who are always trying so hard to be cool. But this try-harding to be cool is one of the reasons for social anxiety. It's one of the reasons for this stifleness and for this tight feeling in your body when it comes to social activities, social scenarios. Why? Because if you try to be cool all the time, you put yourself into this, let's say cell, into this jail cell. So you cannot do anything apart from having this persona of being cool. But you know, in my channel I'm speaking always about how everybody has their own personal value and their own personality and their own personal kind of style of being in general, of talking, of speaking, of joking. And what happens if you have a role model that you think is cool and you emulate this guy, you try to be cool like him, what you do is you're actually not being yourself. And it can sound paradoxical, but the coolest that you can be is being the most yourself. So as high as you go, let's say in percentages from 1% to 100%, as high as you go to 100% being yourself, the cooler you are. Because who defines cool? Yes, depends on the people that are judging you, depends on the people that you're communicating with. But if the people you're hanging out with judge you for not being cool when you're being yourself, then they're not the right people for you. That's what I'm always preaching on this channel. Be yourself and see which people stick around to you. Because by trying always to be cool on the outside and of course on the inside, you limit yourself of your authenticity. You take away from your authenticity. And this is the uncoolest thing, guys. This is the uncoolest thing that you can do. Take away from your own authenticity. If you always try to be cool, you put yourself in these limits, in these borders, and you cannot express who you truly are. And it's not about expressing so much who you truly are and this kind of stuff. It's about the feeling. Guys, you need to understand that what we're afraid of, for example, when we fear public speaking, we're afraid of a feeling. We're not afraid of the audience or somebody laughing or joking about us. We're afraid of the feeling of being unaccepted, of the feeling of being judged, of the feeling of being just feeling like an idiot. It's not so much the atmosphere, it's not so much the circumstance on the outside in the environment, it's much more about the feeling. And by being real, it's not so much that other people see you as this amazing person, it's all about you. Is that you feel good, and when you try always to be cool, you put all these limits on yourself, and that's why this is one of the reasons you may feel shit, especially in social situations, because you always try to be cool. You can never relax. You can never, be just yourself. And I'll give you a couple of examples, because I see this in a lot of guys in my environment. Always try to be cool, or in other words, always try to follow one simple model of behavior. But this by itself has no logic, because everybody is different, but this is another thing. So when you always try to be cool, first of all, I see like copies of the same guy everywhere. Nobody is different in any way, even though every one of us is born and intrinsically different in a unique way. But I see like copies of the same guys who are always, let's say, walking on the street a little bit wider like this, always looking like this, with this butt look on their face. Always, for example, wearing sunglasses, or always being a little bit aggressive, a little bit, making some sparring or something like this. Always speaking like this. I see it all the time. Guys speaking always like this. Always trying to speak in such a way. This is everything of what I mentioned is so forced, is so unnatural. And people who have a little bit stronger intuition, people who are a little bit more thinking and just observing, can sense that you're fake. And this is not nice. I'm speaking about more socially aware, more spiritually aware people. They can sense this. And now when I grew up, even though when I was a little bit younger, I was always all the time like this. Always trying to be cool, always trying to have the perfect posture, always, for example, staying like, having the biggest arm possible, shooting myself from the best angle, always speaking like this with the deepest voice possible, always looking a little bit bad, always not letting anybody ruin my day, always, this cool behavior. I don't know who is anybody emulating in my country, Bulgaria. There are some certain idols in the worldwide. There are some other guys that are being perceived as cool. It doesn't really matter. But by trying to be cool, you ruin your authenticity. This is the most important thing, guys. I can tell you that 90% of your problems inside of you is because you're running away from your authentic self. For example, you have passion for this and that, but you work in something completely different. And of course you feel a little bit shit because you're not following your dreams, you're not following your path. Or you feel like this friend group is not for you. You feel it because they are not on the same vibe like you. But you stay with them because they are cool. You're ruining, again, your authenticity. You would rather be better off alone, or even better with some other authentic people that relate to you and are like you. I hope you feel what I'm saying, guys. Who defines what is cool? Really, who defines? Who is really cool to define what is cool? Everybody have their own style. And actually, the people that you may follow and you think that they are cool, you know what? They have developed their own style and owned it so much to the point that it becomes trendy. I'll give you one example that is going to be relatable for every one of you, because I see a lot of guys, not in my country, but worldwide, emulating Andrew Tate, because he's absolutely viral. He was at one point the most searched man on Google. So, very popular guy. He has his particular style, the bald head, the sunglasses, the cigar, the a little bit arrogant, behavior, a little bit louder speaking, a little bit confident walk. This is a guy who is like this before and after the fame, because this is who he is. He didn't start smoking cigars just because to be cool or to emulate somebody else. He likes smoking cigars, and you know what happened? After that, his fans, they started smoking cigars. Actually, he is the guy that made me try cigars for the first time. And it's, to be honest, nice, but I don't do it to be cool. Sometimes I enjoy a little cigar instead of cigarettes, or IQOS, or vape, or something like this. I prefer the cigar. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that one guy who is being authentic 100%, in the end, who doesn't emulate somebody else, in the end, people follow him. Because people who are not really aware are always trying to be cool, always trying to emulate somebody that is cool, always trying to be somebody else. And this may sound cliche, this is one of the advices that everybody speaks about on the internet, but it's really true. the less you are yourself, the shittier you feel. Trust me when I say this, really. Because when you start to finally, the things that I'm speaking about on this channel, when you start to finally accepting who you are and you start to finally being yourself at your core, you know, not having these limiting beliefs, not always looking for approval, not always having pride in yourself, not always seeking validation from other people and all of this kind of unnatural stuff, then you feel the happiest. Trying to be cool is trying to be somebody else. And this goes against the law of consciousness. Everybody is completely different, guys. And most of the channels about self-improvement on YouTube, they are trying to make men like the same things. Nobody is the same, guys. Some people may prefer to have this multi-million-dollar business, but some people may prefer to go surfing their whole life, to be a surfing teacher in Hawaii and earn 3K a month and be absolutely happy with this. Follow your own heart, your own soul and desire, and don't stop trying to be cool, guys. The coolest that you can be is by being yourself, with all of your weirdness, with everything, guys. Because if you think about it, if you analyze your own life, if you analyze the friends that you have or the acquaintances, you see that the coolest people that you have in your life are the people who are embracing who they really are without even caring about being cool or no. Because cool is the person who is themselves. Please understand this, guys. It's not so much about following this guy or that guy or following the trend in the moment. Because the trends change, the idols change, but you don't change. If, like I said in the beginning, if in the 70s you had one haircut, in the 80s you have one haircut, in the 90s you have a different haircut, only because it's trendy, then you're fucking stupid. Because you follow always the trend. Why don't you have the haircut that you actually want? Actually feels nice for you, actually you look the best with. Who defines what is cool, guys? Some popular person, some TikToker, some YouTuber? Who defines it? There's not really anybody. It's a little bit of a rant, but I'm speaking kind of to my younger self, because I always try to be cool. Always sit on the chair in a certain way. Always when I speak to somebody to have the best eye contact. But now I try, at least. I'm never going to say that I'm perfect, guys, on this channel. But I'm trying to be better than yesterday. That's my goal. So right now I'm trying to be as loose as possible, you know. Not so much caring about how I look, how I speak, how my teeth look, how my eyes, where are they looking. I'm just trying to be myself. And this is actually cool. Cool is not caring. But if you act like this, you know, Andrew Tate style, or a little bit of this bad boy, then you really care about other people. If you didn't care, if you're really cool, you don't care. You just don't give a shit. I hope this message landed. I hope that it made sense in your head. It clicked, because that's my point. The coolest that you can be is, guys, everything. Even if you're League of Legends challenger player, that's so cool, guys. I have one friend that I'm helping with his videos and with his project. He's a rapper. He wants to be a rapper. That's so fucking cool. Instead of another Bulgarian typical guy, you know, buzzhead like me, and going to kickbox and, you know, studying in the economical university, smoking shisha, and, I don't know, going in the casino. I can find hundreds of these. I don't find it cool. Cool is being more rare rather than being more common. When you play some card game, let's say Hearthstone or something like this, you know, the legendary card, the nicest card, is the rarest, is not the most common. This is the coolest card. Be unique, because if you're unique, there is nobody like you. You're going to be so rare. People will absolutely love you, and they think you're the coolest guy ever. Really. But if you really embrace it, if you, without any faking, of course, it's very hard to be perfect, like I'm saying, but you can at least try. Without any faking, just be who you are. 100% every day. Try. Try to be and see what happens. See how cool you are. Maybe you don't have the best response from the people around you. Maybe they think, oh, you're so uncool now. It doesn't matter, not the right people. Because most of the people follow the guidelines, the strict, I don't know, behaviors that are considered as cool. Who makes it cool? Nobody. You see it everywhere in Hollywood, all the artists. Who was it that was wearing meat dress? Some of the Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or somebody like this. They define what is cool. And imagine if people start to follow like they do. You can be your own superstar, guys, in your own life, by being cool, by being you. Not like being like Doja Cat, like being like you. I hope this message landed, guys. I'm not going to repeat myself anymore. I hope this video was of any value to you. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one, guys, and stay tigers.